Imagine waking up one morning and deciding to step off the fast-moving train of instant pleasure and endless distractions. You put down your phone, close your laptop, and stop scrolling through social media, watching YouTube videos, binging on Netflix, and even pause your favorite snacks and quick dopamine hits like sugar or caffeine. You commit to quitting dopamine. Well, not quitting dopamine itself, because dopamine is the brain's natural chemical for motivation and reward. But you quit the artificial easy dopamine hits that flood your brain every day. You decide to do this for just 7 days. What do you think happens? At first, it feels like stepping into a dark, empty room. You expect boredom, emptiness, maybe even pain. But then, something unexpected begins to happen. Right now, most of us live in a dopamine storm. Dopamine is the chemical in our brains that lights up when we get rewarded. It's the reason we feel good when we eat delicious food, get a like on Instagram, or win a small victory. But today, the problem is that our dopamine system is overloaded. We're constantly chasing quick dopamine fixes, notifications, instant entertainment, snacks, games, without realizing the cost. This overload rewires our brain to expect high doses of pleasure all the time, which makes us more restless, anxious, and less able to enjoy simple, natural moments of satisfaction. We get trapped in a cycle where our motivation depends on a flood of external rewards, and without them, we feel lost and empty. When you quit these quick dopamine hits for just 7 days, you start to see the cracks in this system. The first day is usually the hardest. Your brain protests like an addict craving its next fix. You feel restless, bored, maybe even depressed or irritable. This is your brain begging for that quick pleasure fix it's used to getting every few minutes or hours. But as the days pass, something amazing happens. Your brain begins to reset. It stops demanding constant stimulation and starts to regain sensitivity. Suddenly, the small things in life that you used to overlook begin to feel rewarding again. The warmth of sunlight, the taste of water, the satisfaction of finishing a simple task. All of these moments light up your brain's reward system like a sunrise after a long, dark night. Before we move on, if you like these videos and find them helpful, can you do me a favor and like this video and subscribe to my channel? This small action helps me a lot, but most importantly, helps other people improve their lives. I am truly grateful to every single one of you. Thank you. Let's move on. This dopamine detox doesn't mean you eliminate all joy. Instead, it means you rediscover joy in deeper, more meaningful ways. You learn to find motivation not from external rewards, but from within. You realize that your brain can produce natural dopamine peaks when you engage in creative work, physical exercise, or connecting with others. These are the kinds of dopamine hits that fuel lasting happiness and fulfillment, not the fleeting sparks from mindless scrolling or junk food. One of the most profound changes during these 7 days is how your focus sharpens. Without constant distractions pulling your attention away, you find you can concentrate more deeply on a single task. This improved focus feels like reclaiming your mind from a noisy crowd to a quiet sanctuary. Suddenly, reading a book, writing your thoughts, or even sitting quietly becomes enjoyable rather than a chore. This shift is powerful because it shows that the constant dopamine hits we chase don't actually help us be productive or happy. Instead, they steal our attention and make us scattered and tired. Another surprising effect of quitting dopamine for a week is the emotional clarity you gain. When your brain isn't overstimulated by quick pleasures, you begin to notice your true feelings, whether it's anxiety, sadness, or contentment. This can be uncomfortable at first, because many of us use quick dopamine hits to numb our emotions and avoid facing them. But by stepping away from those distractions, you allow yourself to feel fully and honestly. This honesty with your emotions is the first step toward healing and personal growth. You become more self-aware and better able to understand what you really want in life, rather than what society or your brain's dopamine cravings push you toward. You may also notice your creativity surging during these 7 days. With fewer distractions, your mind has space to wander, imagine, and invent. Your brain begins to make new connections and find fresh ideas, much like a garden that blooms when you stop pulling out all the flowers and let it grow naturally. This burst of creativity is a direct result of letting your dopamine system rest and your brain enter a calm, open state. You start seeing new possibilities in your life and work that you couldn't notice before. By the end of the week, you realize something even deeper. Your true power is not in chasing pleasure, but in mastering your impulses and reclaiming your time and attention. You discover a sense of freedom that comes from not being a slave to constant entertainment or cravings. You learn that real happiness and motivation come from within, not from external hits of dopamine that leave you empty as soon as they fade. This freedom feels like waking up from a long, restless sleep into a day full of purpose and clarity. Of course, life is not about completely avoiding dopamine forever. Dopamine is essential for survival and joy. But what this experiment shows is how we can choose to control our dopamine rather than letting it control us. After 7 days, many people find that they don't want to return to their old habits. They want to keep the clarity, motivation, and peace that comes from a balanced dopamine system. They learn to use dopamine in a way that supports their goals instead of sabotaging them. If you're wondering how to start your own 7-day dopamine detox, the key is to be gentle but firm with yourself. You don't have to quit everything cold turkey, but try to reduce or eliminate the fastest dopamine triggers like social media, junk food, video games, and mindless entertainment. Replace those moments with simple, mindful activities. Walking in nature, journaling your thoughts, meditating, or practicing deep breathing. Notice how your body and mind respond as the days go by. When you do this, you are rewiring your brain for a healthier, happier life. You reclaim your focus, boost your creativity, and reconnect with yourself in a way that the noisy world often steals away. You discover that the natural dopamine your brain produces from meaningful work, connection, and achievement is far more fulfilling than any quick hit. And most importantly, you learn that you don't have to be addicted to constant stimulation to live a joyful, motivated life. This is the truth about quitting dopamine for just 7 days. It's not about deprivation, it's about rediscovery. It's about finding your true source of motivation and joy, which lies inside you, not in the endless scroll or snack. It's about breaking free from the chains of distraction and stepping into a life of focus, clarity, and real happiness. And once you experience this freedom, you'll want to come back to this feeling again and again, because it's the foundation of lasting success and peace. So, what if you took this challenge today? What if you gave yourself 7 days without the fast dopamine hits and just observed what happens? You might be surprised to find a clearer mind, a calmer heart, and a new energy for life that you never thought possible. This is not just a detox, but a doorway to a better you. If you made it until here, leave a mind emoji in the comments. I want to see how many of you reach the end and finish what they start. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and keep improving day by day. Together, we are unstoppable.